We'll go back to our favorite topic of politics. When do you think we will find out who's going to run for assembly in the 118th Assembly District? It's the vacant seat, vacated last February by Darrell Albertine. No special election held. It's going to go to November. And we have no candidates. It's May 12th. The period for circulating petitions is almost upon us, and no one has stepped up. No one wants to represent us. No one wants to be the member of Assembly from up here. It's just not worth it. Maybe they don't understand what the position is. Maybe they don't want to be bothered. Maybe it's not enough money. Who knows? Maybe they don't want to drive back and forth to Albany or have their home life ruined by the debauchery that goes on along the shores of the Hudson. Maybe they don't want any of that, and they just don't want to run for Assembly here in Watertown or Messina or Ogdensburg or whatever else is in this crazy river district. So we don't have a candidate. No one stepped forward. Oh, yeah, a lot of people have put their foot in the water, their big toe in the water. I might run, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm weighing it, and I'm talking to my family about it, and the other great line, well, people have asked me to run. People have asked me to run. You know what? The other day I was in the bank, and Jack Scordo said to me, why don't you run for Assembly? Does that mean I'm going to go around to the newspaper and say, well, you know, Jude, people have been asking me to run. No, it's silly. Either you're running or you're not. Get off the dime. And those people who want to equivocate for whatever, I got no sympathy for you. You either want the job or you don't. Say you want it. You can hold an official announcement later with the fanfare. That's fine. Just come forward on this show. This show is the place to do it. We are the definitive source for political discourse. And by the time it's emanating out of our transmitter, they'll have a post up on all the blog sites, too, and various news websites. So if you want to run for Assembly, Pete, Big Pete here. Do you want to run?
No, I'm good.
You don't want to run. You're out. We're counting you out. We can cross you off the short list. All right. Young Pete Souch is not running for Assembly. I'm not. Who else is not? I haven't ruled Dave Mance out yet. Because if someone doesn't announce soon, I'm going to begin a draft Dave Mance for Assembly campaign. Because I think this is a guy, I read where he gave $50,000 to the hospital, and he's a great guy, and he's got a house in Florida now, which is great because you can spend the off-season down there, and he's got a beautiful house on the river and here in Watertown, and a nice family and all of that, and he's got family values, and he's a Republican, but he's not real Republican. He's sort of like a rhino-type Republican, but still, he's a great guy. And if nobody announces soon, I'm going to begin the draft Dave Mance for Assembly campaign. You know, maybe I get worked up over. I was at the bank this morning, and we were in line for a long time because there was a lot of people. And Kenny Parks was right behind me, and we started talking about the presidential race, and he was ruminating about Obama and his phony, fake Southern accent. And some guy ahead of us chimes in and says, that's stupid, that's not fair to judge him that way, and off we were to the races. And it was a great political discussion in the line at HSBC, and I know they probably don't like that in there, but it's good to see a little passion. We have no passion for elected service in this area. Race after race goes uncontested. Now we got an assembly race nobody wants to run in. And this isn't a rant I'm in or anything. It's just an observation. I'm a veteran political observer. It's May 12th, and there's nobody willing to run. What's wrong with this picture? Maybe we don't deserve representation. Maybe the state of New York should just save that $100,000 a year they would have spent on an assemblyman from here because no one wants the job. And I don't mean somebody who wants it because the political mandarins have paved the way and cleared the path and made sure there's no primaries and done all the polling and send out the flyers. No, just somebody who says, I want the job and I'll work for it. Is that too much to ask? It's still an $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year job. It's not a bad job. I realize there's things that pay more. But still, it's not bad. I mean, granted, if you were a principal at a high school or something, no, of course you wouldn't want to do it. But there's people out there for whom this would be a step up. And people who would have the time for it. So I'm just looking in life. Maybe I'm a throwback to a simpler time in America. Just looking for somebody who wants to be like Jimmy Stewart was in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or something like that. Back when the yearning for public service was so great that Lincoln and Douglas stood on the platform and debated for hours in Illinois. Maybe that's what we need, but you won't see it because they're all waiting. Oh, is it okay with June O'Neill? Are the Republicans in Albany, are they going to pay for this? What's the polling say? Oh, I can't jump in the water now. Oh, no. Come on. Man up, guys, gals, do it. You want to be the member of Assembly? Get in on this show as soon as possible. The other media will flock over here and cover it. Don't worry about it. You'll get plenty of play if you come in here. You'll be all over the internet within seconds and all over the rest of the media within hours. So there you go. There's my speech for the day. 755-1240, our phone number, and you are invited to call in. Good afternoon, Hotline.
I think I would be